this is Jackie with All Access, and I'm here with Nick Santino on day 87 of Vans Warped Tour, right?
I like it, for sure.
We're a little warm here in New Jersey. This is the 20th anniversary of Warped Tour.
Yeah.
Dare I ask, what were you doing 20 years ago?
What was it, 1994? Well, I was born in 88, so how old does that make me? I was like, what, 6? I can't do math. I don't know. I don't remember what I was doing. Kindergarten, first grade?
Legos.
Yeah, that's what I said yesterday, probably Legos. I seriously did say, we were talking about it yesterday for some reason. I was like, I was out playing Legos when this thing started, so it's funny you said Legos. Yeah.
Well, now you're doing so much better. I mean, Legos is fun. Don't blame me. Don't argue with that.
Exactly.
But what was your first summer concert that you attended?
I think it was the Pop Disaster tour, Blink-182 and Green Day. In my day, it Saves the Day opened, so it was cool.
That's a great first concert. I mean, some of us are kind of embarrassed by our first.
But if you want to go our first concert, it was in sync with my sister. So twice, 2 different shows.
Oh man,
I'm not embarrassed. That was sick.
Fair enough. So, what was the first show you've ever played?
When I was in like 7th grade, I had a pop punk band, and we played this like VFW hall, and there was like 50 people there, and we were like really nervous, and I think I turned around the whole time. Yeah, it was funny.
Aww. So, do you prefer to play outdoor festivals or club gigs?
I like clubs. I'm not a big festival guy. I play like in an acoustic tent in this, so it's like kind of more of a small, intimate thing. You know, it doesn't really feel like a festival. I just prefer clubs. I like clubs.
Air conditioning's pretty good too. How do you prepare for a show? Do you have any pre-show rituals or warm-ups that you do?
I don't. I'm not very entertaining when it comes to that. I just pace around and, you know, get nervous for a second, and then I just go on and play. I don't really do anything cool. I'm boring.
Aw. Well, but when you play, it's not boring, so don't worry about that. Do you try to beat the heat out here, or do you just go all out?
I go back to the bus whenever I can. It's always nice coming to press because it's usually inside. Usually coming to the amphitheater and watch bands in here, so it's nice and cool. So yeah, I think, you know, drinking lots of water kind of cools you down too. So.
Well, that's good. What comes to mind when you're playing and you look out into the crowd and you see a bunch of tiny phone screens?
It's funny. I mean, I am definitely, like, when I go to a show that I really love and I want to see the band, I definitely take a memento and take a quick video or whatever. It's funny, though, when they just look at it through their screen. It's like, well, you have the show in front of you. I mean, honestly, I can say every time I've done a video at a show, I've never gone back and watched it. So it's like, is there a point? I don't think so. But I get it. I understand it.
You're at a live show. It's live in front of you. Enjoy the liveness, right? Facebook ads are expensive. How do you advertise or spread the word?
I use Twitter and Instagram as my best advantage, I guess, for whatever I can do. I don't know how useful it actually is, but those are the only 2 things that I really know how to use. Facebook and like YouTube are like foreign to me. I haven't tapped into those 2 yet. So yeah, Instagram and Twitter probably.
Okay, very cool.
Just tweeting a bunch and annoying people on there. Yeah.
In 140 characters or less, whatever you can do.
Pretty good at 140 characters. I've gotten it down, yeah.
So what's your opinion of crowdfunding sources like Kickstarter and Indiegogo?
I think it's cool when when it's for a good cause or whatever, and it's not just somebody begging for money to go shopping, you know. But I also think it's cool when you give back something really cool and unique to fans. Like, I think it's kind of crap when people are like, give me, pledge $3,000 and I'll take you on a shopping trip, but you have to supply the money and you have to fly to me on your own dime. It's like, so I need to pay you like $10,000? Like, this is ridiculous, you know? But when you're doing like cool, intimate things, like, you pledge $50, I'll fly to your house and play a show for you, you and your friends. That's the cool thing, like the give back. I think if you don't do anything, then it's just people handing you money, and I'm like, raise it yourself if that's the point. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see I haven't done it yet. I've funded my own record myself and put me in the hole, but I mean, that's the point of making music, you know?
That's what musicians are used to, right?
I'm used to being broke, so yeah. So I guess put it back into my job, and hopefully it pays back.
There you go. So speaking of your own music, is there one song in particular that you want to make sure new listeners hear because it represents you really well?
Well, the whole new record that I just put out, I think, is cool. There's a song on there called "It Is What It Is," and it's a song kind of just talking about being unsure of what exactly it is that you want to accomplish in your life, and trying out all these things, and eventually finding the one thing that'll make you really happy. And I did it in like a really odd way, and the lyrics are very weird, and talking about being like a cowboy in the Old West, and working in the circus, and kind of just obscure things. I kind of wrote it in my sleep, like I woke up in the middle of the night and wrote the lyrics, and then like wouldn't go back to sleep until I finished it. So they're kind of like, dazed and confused, half sleep, half awake lyrics, but I think they're cool and they tell a really positive story.
So all of them, not one song.
Yeah, that one, but that one song, "It Is What It Is," that's the one that I would say to listen to first. Yeah.
Is there a song on the album that is sort of near and dear to your heart, kind of like your maybe not something that you play all the time, but when you listen to it, it makes you kind of go back to that point?
I mean, a lot of these songs do, because they're all very real and honest. And I think there's one on there called "Have a Little Faith in Me," and it's like a kind of like a forgive me kind of song. Like, I know I've done a lot of crappy things, but like I promise that's not going to happen anymore kind of song. I guess you'd have to listen to the lyrics to really get it, but that one's like, I think, a very deep, like serious song.
I always wonder with singers, and you sort of go back to lyrics and events that happened in the past. Is it cathartic, or is it difficult to sing those songs?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, I had like a rough year, so I found that I wrote a lot of songs, and there were some of the better songs that I feel like I've written. And now that I'm kind of cool and over it and whatever, I try to go back to write songs, and I'm like, I got nothing to write about. So I guess it is very therapeutic, and I never really thought of that until actually going through, with it. And it is. It makes you feel really good when you write a song that you're happy about.
Very cool. So what's up next for you after Warped Tour?
I'm going to go home for a bit and relax and like lather myself in aloe. And then probably I'm going to go out to the UK in October with the band called The Main. And then just try to do some more touring in the fall and winter.
Excellent. So stay tuned for more from Nick Santino. This is Jackie with All Access and In the Key of Change.